What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, film fam. Welcome to another episode of Chop and Willie in the morning, brought to you by Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here with my main man, Willie Jack. Willie Jack, how you feeling this morning, brother?
Oh, I'm feeling good, feeling great. feeling great, my boy. We couldn't wait for this one. Couldn't wait for this one. Hey, matter of fact, there's a couple people been waiting in the chat, but their chat's not showing in the restream chat. But our dog Tom in the building, but you know what I'm saying, Sis in the building, and somebody else is in here too. I don't know why they chats not showing up, but I've got their chats on the YouTube pulled up, but it's not showing in here. But I want to shout them out anyway. Y'all in here? Tom said he was first, so hey, I don't know. Big Chef in the building too. Come on, man. Mom Duke's in the building. Come on, man.
We ready to go this morning, Willie Jack. That's what I'm feeling. That's what all I know is we ready to go, man. But of course, we got a good show for y'all today. We're gonna definitely jump into some of these playoff games. We had 2 yesterday that we for sure gonna get into. We got 3 today, and then we got 1 on Monday night, man. So we're gonna jump into all those games. But before we do all of that, we got house rules, man. And y'all know the house rules. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. Just like my dog Willie Jack said already at the top of the show. But which one of y'all hit that like button, though?
But which one of y'all hit the like button, though?
Y'all been in here. Y'all had time. We had the music going. Give y'all some time to get going, get in, get settled, get your drinks, get whatever you need. But which one of y'all hit that like button, though? You know what I'm saying? So like, share, subscribe, man. You know, become a member of the film fam. Of course, we got plenty of room, man. We got plenty of room in the pad, plenty of food, plenty of whatever you need. We got it here. And then also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right? How else are you going to find out what me and Willie Jack got going, what we got cooking up, and when the next time we on and popping? And I guarantee you, we will not let you down. With that being said, Willie Jack, it's time to jump off into the show. And before we get into some of the games, man, we're going to talk about some of these selections first, man. We're going to talk about some of these selections. All pro selections did go out. Okay, they did go out. I believe it was a couple days ago. This week, they went out this week, and I want to discuss some of them, man. So I got the list pulled up here, man, and I want to show y'all some of the selections that was made. And first, I guess we can touch on the offense first, Willie Jack. We can touch on the offensive side of things. But yeah, man, here is the list of the All Pro selections this year. Willie Jack, you got a problem with any of these, man?
I'm looking through, and honestly, I don't think so. The only thing, I got to take that. I got to pull that comment off his blocking. Oh, that's Joe Patonio and Zach Martin. The only thing I was gonna say, man, is Chris Lindstrom for the Falcons had a phenomenal year at guard, and then also Creed Humphrey at center. I think maybe there could be an argument there for him over Jason Kelce. But at the same time, Kelce and either one of Patonio and Martin aren't bad choices. I mean, they can't. They're still phenomenal, but a guy like Chris Lindstrom had a career year this year. Maybe, and I don't know if they put out the second team yet, but just those two, so I think they deserve some love. They definitely played like top 2 guys at the position this year, and I think Creed probably may be the best center in football now. Just Kelsey's getting a little older, he's getting a little up there, but now other than that, though, I ain't got no hard beef with none of them.
For sure. And the offensive side, excuse me, losing my voice there. Letting y'all in a little bit on how your boy Knight win, but either way, this was the offensive side was one I actually didn't have a problem with. I looked at the names and I was like, okay, these are all of the legit names, understandable.
Yeah, they legit for sure.
From top to bottom, you know what I mean. And usually with the All Pro list, there's usually not much to well, you can debate, but none of them are like disrespectful, like you can see with someone like the Pro Bowl voting. You know what I'm saying? So. Like there will be seasons like with the Pro Bowl where, like on a season like this year, Aaron Donald will be in the Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? There's no reason he should be in the Pro Bowl this year. You know what I mean? He missed more than half of the season. And he didn't have that good of a year this year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you would see from the Pro Bowl. But as far as the All Pro selection, they're usually legit. Shout out to Josh Jacobs, man. Josh Jacobs had one of the best years that the best year that he's had as an NFL. Running back thus far, so and that brings questions as far as like what's going to happen with him in his future. What's going to happen with him with the Raiders? Are the Raiders going to pay him? Are they going to keep him? Does he move on? Like what's going on with him? And then of course the rest of the names. I agree. I don't disagree with any of them. Now I was talking to Scott in there, and Scott brought up AJ Brown. As a potential to replace Devontae Adams.
Oh, dang, yeah.
He also And then with him bringing that up, another name that came to mind was Stephon Diggs. Also had a really, really good year this year. But in my opinion, I didn't think any of those names. I got it right. I feel like they got it right with the wide receiver names. It was close. I for sure think they had great years, but Go
okay, I'm sorry, bro. But no, I was gonna say, and man, I'm glad you said that because that completely slipped my mind. And that's the thing why it slipped my mind just now, because you see these names and you can't really have a hard beef with one of these names. But no, in fairness, I agree. I think AJ Brown should get that nod over Devontae Adams. Because for one, he may have had the single greatest impact as what he did to elevate that team and the level of play of Jalen Hurts for a team that for probably 12 weeks was the most dominant team in football. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think now production, Devontae had a phenomenal year for sure. You know what I'm saying? But his overall, like Devontae didn't come, that team got worse with Devontae, truthfully. And I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying that. It's way bigger than him. But just before he got there and then now this year after him, I mean, the team regressed. And so that's not a knock against Devontae at all. But AJ Brown, I think, it was the exact opposite of that. Like, I don't know if this is the Jalen we get or if this is the Eagles we get if Howie Roseman doesn't make that deal draft night. Because, like, he really came in and really set that early tone and really, you know what I'm saying? I think he was really the guy that really – he was that catalyst that took them to another level. And so, yeah, I think I would give it to A.J. Brown over Devontae. Yeah, gotcha. Or at least on the first team. And then, you know, if there's a second team, Devontae and Stephon Diggs for sure for me. But yeah, I think A.J. Brown did need that nine.
For sure. And just like we said earlier, Willie Jack, but these all this is we talking inches.
Are we splitting hairs?
Like, really close. We splitting hairs. So you know, no real argument with this. Go on to the defensive side, Willie Jack. We had the All-Pro selection for the defensive side come out too. You know, and here are the names that show up on the defensive side. Any issues with this one? Any questions? You know, how you feel about this list, Willie Jack?
Man, this one. And help me out, because I feel like on this one there's 3 linebackers, and I feel like the last couple of years, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they went with 2 linebackers and put in an extra DB or like a flex, and so it wasn't necessarily allotted for a specific linebacker or DB, but I think they had like a flex or something because I mean, I can't, like I said, the same thing, man. I can't be mad at the names. Now I think Myles Garrett probably needed some consideration, but like I said, I don't know the second team. So if Myles Garrett's the second team, I'm not mad. Dexter Lawrence for the Giants had a tremendous year, but at the same time, Chris Jones is in the MVP race for sure. Defensive MVP race. Quentin Williams had a phenomenal year as well. So there's 3 guys for 2 spots. Like Myles Garrett is right there in that mix. Dexter Lawrence is right there in that mix at you know what I'm saying, on the front 7. Then at linebacker, Roquan and Fred Warner. I'm not gonna beef about that at all. Matt Milano's a stud. I'm actually glad I was surprised, but I was happily surprised to see Matt Milano get that first team all pro, because it just feels like he's been a guy that's been just kind of like criminally underrated for like the last like 3-4 years, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So playing real good ball in Buffalo. Sauce and Surtain at corner, I think that was obvious. And then my dog, you know, Magic Minka in that thing, you know, holding it down. And then Tafanga, Chop will tell you what his name is. No, there you go. And so him versus Derwin, I think is the conversation. And so, you know, but I'm not. But see, if that said Derwin James, I wouldn't be upset. But honestly, say, you know, he knows his name. I'm not mad at that either. The boy ball, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of those things too. But the second team's gonna be stacked, because that's Dexter Lawrence, that's Derwin James. We're gonna get Jalen Ramsey on that one as well. Myles Garrett will be on that one. And so, like, man, it was a stacked year across the board, really.
So I'm looking at it from last year too, Willie Jack, so I can answer some of your questions. So it looked like they had 2 outside linebackers, and they had a middle line, an inside linebacker and a middle linebacker. Same thing to me. But yeah, they had 2 outside linebackers, 2 middle linebackers. They had 2 defensive tackles and 2 defensive ends. So you had, actually, no, not 2 defensive ends. So those outside linebackers included TJ Watt and Michael Parsons. So those were the 2 outside guys. And then they just had 2, I guess you could say, stack linebackers with Shaq.
See, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought this one looked funny when I seen that. That's why, because this is a 4-3 formation. Yeah. And so they had kind of updated the ranking to reflect more of the more hybrid nickel style defenses. That's what I thought. That's why I wasn't sure. Because I was like, I didn't think there was gonna be 3 spots or spots for 3 just stacked backers. But they did. So okay. I'm like, as long as I ain't tripping, because I thought it when I seen it, bro, I really was like, I don't know if they do that no more. But like I said, I ain't mad at either one of them.
But as far as what I took my take on this list, I felt the same as far as you in terms of maybe we could have saw Myles Garrett on this list, because in replacing Michael Parsons. We know Nick Bosa's not going anywhere. We talking about probably the defensive player of the year this year. So we know he's not going anywhere. But that spot, I think that spot is debatable. I probably would have gave the edge over Myles Garrett than Michael Parsons, but again, like we said, that's still a good name, one of the better players in the league, for sure. Great year, one of the better players at his position throughout the year. So that would be the one I would debate. And then the safety position, like you said, and I know you mentioned, Derwin James for sure, and he definitely deserves consideration. Another name I thought of too, and I've always been talking about him, Willie Jack, is Justin Simmons. The free safety over in Denver, man, he had a phenomenal year, and he really came on as far as turnovers towards the second half of the year. Turning the ball over, getting big picks, making big plays, and he's been a big time player for this Denver Broncos team, for years now. So I definitely thought he deserves some consideration. But all in all, man, hey, it's a phenomenal year. And then you have the young guys at corner, man. I really love that. I love to see that. The Sauce Gardner, we've been talking about him all year. Patrick Surtain, of course, that's my dog. But to see Sauce Gardner, a straight rookie, how dominant you have to be to make the All-Pro team. Usually, and Willie, you always say this too, you have to make a name for yourself before they allow you to get on this list. Even if your first year is amazing, you know what I'm saying? Your first year has to be clear and cut dominant. And I don't know if he's getting enough credit for the type of year that he had. I mean,
bro, that's a fact. I was waiting with bated breath to see what you was gonna say. Because if you was gonna say the other way, I was like, hold on, man.
This is almost like and I don't throw this name around lightly. Like, this is almost like a prime Revis season type. You know what I mean? Without the interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Because in one of Revis's best years, I think he had like 5 or 6 interceptions, a couple, that return. But yeah, that was what he had, I
don't know if Revis ever got 6 interceptions in the season. He wasn't really
guy. I know his year he had 5 for sure. Okay. In one of his better years. But and I just said 5 or 6, but because it was around that number, my bad. But yeah, I know he had 5 interceptions in a year in one of his prime seasons. And this year for me, it felt very much like that. You know what I mean? Because Sauce Gardner, it didn't matter who he was guarding, was locked down. And I'm talking about a rookie coming in. You go in the field and it don't phase you. It's like, it's all good. I'm still gonna lock you up. I'm still gonna do what I do, and that's what he did all year long, week in and week out. Man, he was just playing some ball, man. So I had to give him a shout out. Shout out.
No, for sure. And then real quick, man, our dog, man, Tom in the building, man. He said, what about Jalen Petrie as far as the rookie safety out of Baylor for the Houston Texans? And I'm not gonna lie. And I was a fan of him as well. And that's what I just told Tom in the chat. It's like, I liked him out of Baylor. I loved him for Houston. Boy, really, he made a lot of plays. Now, I don't know if like all pro, probably not, but he's a guy that he's got an all pro in his future for sure. So he was saying, don't sleep on him. He's like, no, I'm with you, bro. Jalen Petrie's a stud. That's why, hey, Tom, since you're in the building, man, when DeMeco Ryans go back home and take over that head coaching job, I can't wait to see, because look what DeMeco Ryans, what he did in this second year to homeboy from the Niners, man, to Louis Huff, look what he did from here over year 1 and year 2. And so imagine DeMeco Ryans coming back home to Houston, taking over that job. And then imagine if we see that same type of year 1 to year 2 jump that Buddy made. And then if we see that in Jalen Petrie, who also had a phenomenal year. So that's what I want to see with y'all. I want to see DeMeco Ryans get his hands on Jalen Petrie. But yeah, Jalen Petrie's a stud.
For sure. All right, Willie Jack. Hey, man, we talked enough about these all-pro selections, man. I think it's about that time, Willie Jack. Man, we had some games yesterday that we need to talk about. We need to jump into. We need to break down, for them. We need to talk about some of those. And then we also need to get into the games that's going to be happening today. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into some of these games, Willie Jack. But the first one we want to get into is we're going to talk about a divisional matchup first and foremost. But the Seattle Seahawks, they went to San Francisco to take on, again, the Will-Oil Machines. Man, and the 49ers end up coming away with this victory, man. They win this one 41-23. Willie Jack, you got some take on this one, man. Talk to me, man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, the better team won, and the team I expected to win won. And honestly, man, it was a tale of two halves. The first half of the game played out kind of like I was thinking, like now honestly, the Niners were still clearly the better team, but the score didn't necessarily reflect it. But I definitely expected like a kind of a more tough competitive game, division rivals, and all that out there, and it comes with that. But then, like I said, man, second half, man, was a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? So now I won't lie, like I told Chop, and I'm glad my sister in here because my sister caused me to miss the majority of that second half of that game. So when I stepped away from that game, it was still close. It was 17-16 and a half. San Francisco gets the scores 23-17. I shake, come back, game's over, and they won by 20 points. I was like, what the hell happened? So Chop had to let me know what went wrong in that second half. But
for sure. And I'm gonna definitely tell you what went wrong. But just to give you the full breakdown of this game, man. Like Willie Jack told y'all in the first half, even though the score was widespread, the game didn't start out that way. There was a lot of back and forth. Seattle showed why they belonged in the playoffs in that first half. All right. They came out, they competed, and if that's one thing that Geno can do is he can throw a deep ball. It was a deep ball down the left sideline to DK Metcalf on the money. And I've seen him do that time and time again. His accuracy, and you talk about his percentage as well. His percentage has been good all year long. But
he started that game 11 for 12. He started that game 11 for 12 with a touchdown and like 120 yards. Like ball.
For sure, for sure. So Geno has been to the top of the league as far as accuracy, throughout this entire year. You know what I'm saying? So he continued to do the connection between him and DK, got going early. DK had a big game, 10 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they had it rolling, man. They had it rolling. It was like, okay, they here to play. They here to let you guys know we're here. This wasn't no fluke. We were supposed to be here. But when you go into halftime, this is where coaches and teams separate themselves. This is where it's like, okay, we got the good coaches. All right, but here go these the big dogs right here. This is a different league because you go in this and when you go into halftime, this is where you make those adjustments. You make those slight tweaks to the game plan to help you get to where you need to go, to win this ball game. And sure enough, that's what happened. It was total domination that second half. The defense stepped up. They caused a few turnovers, for Geno, getting after him, couple sacks, a fumble. He threw an interception. And then for their offense, it was a whole lot of Debo, Kittle, and C-Mac. Man, those guys, that team, when you got all those guys together, man, that's part of what makes them hard to stop. But I'm going to take it a little bit further, though, okay? This game specifically solidified Purdy as the starter going forward, definitely for the playoffs. But we're going to have to talk about it for as a permanent position, okay? Because this is the thing. Kyle Shanahan is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is going to call plays that are going to work. 8 out of 10 times, if Kyle Shanahan
the problem wasn't the play call. Yeah.
If he calls a play, it's going to work. That's what you have to stop initially. But then now they have a quarterback that can extend plays and make a play off script. So you mean to tell me it's hard enough to stop Shanahan himself when he calls a play, when he puts a game plan together. But then when we stop it, we got this quarterback that can move around now and find open receivers and still find those weapons that he has. Oh, that's a dangerous team, man. That's a dangerous team. And it kind of solidifies as, hey, man, that's kind of rough. It's going to be hard to stop. And I started to look, and before I was like, well, definitely the Eagles have a chance. But when I seen you put the 49ers as number one, and then I seen them play this game, I said, yeah, boy. Yeah, whoever got to go play San Fran right now, they is rolling. They rolling, and they don't care who's in the way. So that's what they doing. But I don't care what happens. Jimmy G ain't the starter of this team no more. He's playing a lot better than Jimmy G. Jimmy G, if you come back, I don't care if you get healthy, you are not the starter of this team, man. Brock Purdy shows that the moment is not too big for him. He was there, he was ready to play, and he played a hell of a game. There was one specific play, and where he was on the left side of the field, ended up scrambling to the left side, came all the way back to the right side of the field, found Brandon Ayuk in the back of the end zone like a tiptoe, a sideline catch, hit him right in the money. He dropped it. But those are the type of plays that Jimmy G ain't making those plays. You know what I'm saying? And you haven't seen enough from Trey Lance to know what he's fully capable of. So for me, the way Brock Purdy's playing and the way that they rolling with him at quarterback, hey, bro, you might as well go call it, man. Go let that boy ride, man. Let that boy ride, man.
Yeah, and shout out to our dog Tom, man, because he called me last night while I was stuck in traffic, and he was on the same thing. He's like, bro, Brock the permanent quarterback. Like, I don't want, like, Brock is it. Like, they can't go back. Brock is it. He was on the same wave, man. So, and you make a lot of good points. Now, the only thing I will say is the game, I think, and that's why, well, what I saw in the first half, that first half wasn't necessarily clean. So in the telecast, they showed it and they replayed it and talked about it. But he missed there was one where he missed, it was a shot play. He missed a wide. I'm talking butt ass naked. Debo said he's gonna catch this 12-yard, just drag across the field, and he's gonna run for another 20 or 30 or score. It's Debo or score. You know what I'm saying? And it looks, and that's what they were saying in the telecast. It looks like a called or structured shot play, and so completely just didn't even nod at Debo, and then put just a terrible ball in the air for Brandon Ayuk, who had already even given up on the route a little bit, and but no interception. But so there was a couple of misses. Like early, but like you said, man, and I went back and tried to see as much as I could of that second half, but nah, there's something to that, man. And I don't necessarily want to overdo it though. I don't know, man. I want to be I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm not mad at it at all. The only thing I would say is it made me think of what happened with, and this is assuming, let's say they take this thing all the way. It reminds me a little bit of what happened between Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. And then kind of we see how they handle this situation could be the catalyst for a team or an organization like continuing a run of potential dominance or just imploding. Because Philly's mismanagement of this a similar style of thing where you got a backup that comes in and goes all the way to the show, and then you've got your top pick and your number one guy and the guy who the future of the organization was structured around, etc. So what do you do there? The only difference there being Carson Wentz was having an MVP season before he got hurt and Nick Foles came in, whereas Trey Lance bombed, and then Jimmy came in and did look, and played, the team functioned great, and then so it goes down. So man, that's gonna be interesting, man, to see, because they gave up a lot to get Trey Lance as well, and I don't think he's done enough at all to garner any type of return on investment when they trade him, and so they just, they'll take a loss when they move Trey. It's gonna be a loss, but now, man, like you said, man, the way Brock's playing, the way that team looks, and like you said, man, he's learning and growing every day, and especially if they take this thing all the way to the top, then yeah, man, that writing's got to be on the wall. Got to.
For sure. And I think the more so the thing for me is when I watch Brock Purdy and Jimmy. I'm just talking Brock Purdy and Jimmy G right now. Okay. Now, of course, they got a situation there with the QB in terms of drafting Trey Lance and so on and so forth. But when I watch Jimmy G and I watch Brock Purdy, I've watched Jimmy G fold so many times. Okay. I watched him fold so many times, or be the reason that they lose games because of the mistakes that he's made. And just so far, I haven't seen it from Brock Purdy. Now, has he played flawless? No, he hasn't been flawless. No quarterback in the league is flawless, through however many games he's played, maybe 8-9 games straight. No quarterback is going to play flawless throughout their time. But it's almost like a bend but don't break quarterback in terms of, I'm going to make a few bad throws. I might have some few misses here, but overall, I'm not going to fully break down to the point where I'm going to cost us this game. And seeing that along with his athletic ability, to me, gives him the edge over Jimmy G for me. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen enough of that to say, even if they, regardless of what they decide to do with Trey Lance, in terms of Jimmy G and Brock Purdy, I'll give me Brock Purdy and for this particular.
I think Jimmy was already. I think because he's unrestricted after this year, isn't he? I think when they redid that deal,
I have to go back and look at it. I'm not
sure. Because I was gonna say, I think because they couldn't trade him, they completely botched that preseason trade, and then in hindsight, it turned out to be for the better anyway, because you end up needing Jimmy almost right out the gate. But I think when they did rework bring him back and officially rework the deal and bring him back into the fold. I think he's going to be unrestricted free agent anyway after this year. So he was. I mean, yeah, he's out of there. I mean, like I said, I think he was out of there anyway. So it's just, him and Trey Lance, or at least as I see it, unless I'm wrong about that. But I thought they reworked it so that he's unrestricted after this year anyway.
Gotcha. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, now here's one thing our dog Tom said as well, man. I want to point out. And so he said, as far as Brock Purdy says, he wants to see him with some real pressure. And honestly, and I think I understand what he's saying. Like, that's why that Eagles matchup, man, whenever we get to it, assuming we get to it, of course, but if and when we do get to that matchup, that'll be the one, because that Eagles defensive front with 4 guys in double-digit sacks, they broke the all-time sack record, I think my dog Chop said 2 weeks ago, set by the 84 Bears. You know what I mean? They've got TJ Edwards was their middle linebacker, honestly, who had a very good year. And you know what? He's a guy that maybe should have got some consideration. And I don't know his raw numbers, but I'll have to look at maybe his advanced metric stats or whatever the case, run stops and that type of thing. But anyway, he had a phenomenal year. I think he was like top 3 guy in tackle for loss. I mean, he was all around stud this year. And so anyway, but that game will tell us a lot, like you said. So we'll put his mobility to the test then. Like my dog Chop was telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? He's got some will, he's got some movement, he can color a little bit outside the lines. And so we'll see then. But that'll be the game to see it, Tom, when they go see them Eagles, man.
Hey, I don't know what time watching, man, but I'm watching the guy. When he get pressure, the boy doing some things. Now, hey, I don't know, man. We're gonna see. No,
it's definitely gonna be another level of pressure because Seattle was getting after him. You know what I mean? They were. You know what I'm saying? But Darnell Taylor, I think, is probably the top pass rush guy for them. And then most everybody's gonna be like, well, who the hell is Darnell Taylor? And so, you know what I'm saying? Now, when he lines up and there's a defensive line that we know, the guys we know, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, who had 16 sacks this year. You still got Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, who also had 11, 12 sacks this year. You know what I'm saying? Then, I mean, so they've got a plethora of guys that they rotate through. They go 10 deep at D-line, which is crazy. And so, like, seeing that type of relentless onslaught and a better team in the back end as well. Like this is a better team top to bottom, so maybe that is going to be a different level of competition. But like I said, they was number 1 in my rankings for a reason. So I assume them. I anticipate them handling that work when it gets there.
Hey, I ain't about to ignore the 10 straight wins they done had as far as leading into the playoffs against good teams or against all different types of defensive lines. 10 straight wins. It ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing gonna change in the playoffs either. Ain't nothing changing, man. It's gonna be the same Brock Purdy, man. I don't know what y'all talking about, man. What y'all talking about, Brock?
Hey, man, hold on.
I should have pulled the clip again to let everybody know what I said. But before Brock Purdy ever took a snap as a starter, your boy Chop, y'all need to hear this. Y'all better start tuning in to Chop and Willie in the morning. Let the film speak, because I told y'all before he took the snap as a starter that it wasn't going to matter. It ain't going to matter. What y'all talking about?
Play the footage. You got the clip.
We done seen it for 10 games. Stop playing with me, man.
I thought you had the footage teed up.
I wish I did. I should have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it. Don't worry about
it. And this was so crazy about this, right? Let me tell you how these Niners, when Trey Lance got injured in, what was it, week 3? Was it week 2, week 3 when Trey Lance got?
I thought it was week 1. I thought he got injured in the first game. I thought so. I could double check. Go ahead. Go ahead, though.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, because if you remember at that time when Jimmy G came in, I said, okay, yeah, they play. I told you when Jimmy G came in, they
week 2. It was week 2. Week 2.
Okay, week 2. When Jimmy G came in, I said, I think I called him a playoff team just when he got announced to start, because I just didn't have faith in your boy Trey. Then when Jimmy went out there and won that next game, I think that next game, but the next 2 games, I told y'all they was going to the NFC Championship game. Right then. You know what I'm saying? And then when Jimmy went down, I'm not gonna lie, I had to cool my heels a little bit. And then my dog Chop did get on here. He was like, boy, you talk about them wheel oil, that's a wheel oil machine. You know what I'm saying? It is paint by numbers, plug and play. Put somebody in, little, you know what I'm saying? And then, hey, he ain't missed. And then this is what I want to do.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say real quick, man. Shout out to the new blood in the building, man. Bojo. I believe that's how I say that. That's that, when folks from like New Orleans and the Bayous and stuff like that, man, they don't use O's, man. They use B's as you. But I believe that is Bojo. So shout out to you, bro. My sister recruited another one for the building, man. So I think it's a guy she works with, man. He in there showing love, man. So we appreciate you, big dog. And he said he want to see that beam footage. Don't worry, man. My dog Chop do keep receipts. He do. Yeah. He normally play back the clips.
He gonna make me pull it up right now, man. Y'all keep on asking. I'll pull it up right now for y'all.
Welcome in, bro. Get real comfortable, bro. Go ahead.
For sure. Yeah. Willie Jack, let's go ahead and move to this next one, man. We had another game. We had the Los Angeles Chargers go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, man. And the Jaguars came away with this W after being down 27-0 in the second quarter. Willie Jack, talk to me, man. What happened in this one? Did you see? Talk to me, bro.
Look at me.
I wish Ike wasn't here on this one. He has so many, all these different questions and coming at us about, why making excuses about the Chargers. I don't care who was injured. I don't care if Slater was out. I don't care who. Ain't no way your team is supposed to give up that game up 27-0. I don't care who was out. I don't care that y'all didn't have Mike Williams. Don't come to me and tell me that you didn't have Mike Williams or that you didn't have all these different players because you was up 27-0 in this game.
Exactly.
27-0 in this game. Willie Jack, go ahead. My bad, bro.
No, you good. But exactly, bro. And that is exactly my point that I've been making. If you are a guy, like Joe Burrow don't lose that game. I don't give a damn if T. Higgins went out. You know why I don't care about not T. Higgins. I don't care about Mike Williams being out because I seen Joe Burrow keep the show rolling with Jamar Chase out. Now, is that not a comparable loss? Is that not a more substantial loss? It don't matter. He's a guy, you know what I'm saying? Especially spot Joe Burrow 27 points in the first quarter. Man, come on, man. Stop playing. And then to come out in that second half and lay a complete egg from 27-0 and that game finishes 31-30. Like, bro, come on. Clean house. Me and Chop been calling for it. And it should be coming, man. We're waiting to get the news, man. We're waiting to get the news confirmed.
That's all. My phone is on alert right now. As soon as the news come through, y'all gonna hear it.
Yeah, we waiting to get the call, man, about Brandon Staley getting on up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Shine probably licking his lips right now. Shine trying to track down Justin Herbert number right now so he can call him. Don't worry about it, big dog. I got you. I know what it takes. I got you. But no, just a complete collapse, man. And then the thing about that, when that game came out, because I was talking so big about the Chargers, bro, and then what is it? 4 interceptions and the muff punt off another dude's helmet that was supposed to be blocked. Like, just everything that could went wrong. But the one thing I did say is they got that score. They got a score before half, right? So it's 27-7, and then they had to get the styles. Like, they get to stop and score right here, right now. It's a 2-score game. This ball game, and then boom, there you go. The way it plays out the way it did. I hated the officiating in this game. That's what I want to talk about, bro.
Go ahead, talk to me.
I'm talking, and this is the thing as well, and not to say that there should be any type of skew for the home team, but generally, if calls are kind of a little wonky, normally it favors the home team. I seen Jacksonville get so many bogus calls against them. Like, goddamn, we in LA. Like, I was just like looking for it. Like, that's the second interception of Lawrence. And shout out to Asante Samuel because he balled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna take away from him. He had 2 blatant DPIs. Bro, he hugged Buddy on that second. He hugged him. Toss him aside, pick. And then the end zone where he grabbed Buddy around the neck from behind. Like, come on, man. It was a lot of foolery going on, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Good Trevor. We got bad Trevor first half, good Trevor second half. And this is exactly the dichotomy that I've been talking about with Trevor Lawrence all year. Who's gonna show up? Is good Trevor showing up or bad Trevor showing up? You know what I'm saying? And so we got a taste of both. And this is the thing about this as well, man. And this is why right now today I'm putting Trevor Lawrence above Justin Herbert. Because of this. I told you, bro. I told you. This is what I'm talking about. Because, well, no, you know what? I shouldn't go too far. I'm not going to say I'm going to put him above him. Not realistically, but he's ascended another step. And he's done something. In winning that game, he did something that I've been waiting to see Justin Herbert do. Don't tell me about the injuries. Don't tell me about what's going wrong. When the game's there to be won and you get a 20-point lead, like, you can't trick that off. Not if you're a guy. And so now he's Matt Stafford. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be big numbers on a losing team for 12 years, and then we'll see if somebody comes and rescues him at the end of his career, man, let him get a ring or something like that. But or if Sean Payton get over there and right the ship. But, man, you can't lose this. And I put it in the chat as well. When they got the ball back with 3 minutes to go, 4-minute drill, win this game. First thing he does is take an 8-yard sack. You know what I'm saying? The next play was a little screen pass that didn't go nowhere. I mean, just gave the ball right back, and then Jacksonville did what they had to do to get down there and, you know what I'm saying, get the first. And so, like I said, I wasn't surprised at all. The Chargers are going to charge it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been saying. Justin Herbert, I told y'all to call you out, Justin Herbert now. show me you a guy. Make this play, make this, you know what I'm saying, get this done. You have no excuse not to do so. I don't want to hear about my dog Ike. I know you was in the chat, you ain't in the show, but dog, I don't want to hear about play calling. Don't tell me about Joe Lombardi. Ike been complaining and crying about Joe Lombardi. Well, where was the complaints about Joe Lombardi in the first half when he was up 3 touchdowns? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, the guys got to make plays. And it didn't happen, man. So shout out to the Jaguars, man. They get to live and fight another day. I don't think they're going too much further than this week. But played out how I told you I was going to play out. You muted.
But shout out to you, Willie Jack, and I agree with a lot of what you said, but a complete meltdown, man. A complete meltdown. Like I said, you up in this game 27-0 in the second quarter. 4 turnovers in the first quarter, you know, and 5 turnovers in the first half. It's just no way you lose that game, you know. And in this particular situation, it's just. Yeah, man, some things have to change. I'll say that. You know, I'll never. Yeah, some things have to change. They have to change some stuff around. There's no way. But for Trevor Lawrence, though, it looks like in this particular game, it looked like it just took him a while to get settled. You know what I mean? First playoff game, second year as a starting quarterback. You know, nerves don't hit everybody the same. You know, everybody ain't Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? No, but it just looked like it took him a while. But once he had, it was like once he got a couple completions, once he started to see a little bit of success, that's when you really start to see him rolling. He started to really get his feet up under him, and it was like, okay, he rolling now. He's got it going. He is hitting his receivers on time. He's hitting the open guys. Doug Peterson had to simplify that offense in like a few moments just to say, okay, look, let's get you going first. And then once he did that, everything started to go. You know, he started to roll, and yeah, man, he looked like a totally different guy the second half versus the first half. You know, and they come out, they take care of business. Another thing I want to mention too, right? So we talk about, you know, them not being able to hold on to this lead and so on and so forth. I mean, hold on to the lead. I said hold on to the lead. But them not being able to hold on to this lead in this particular game. And I look back at one particular or a couple of different things, right? And this is what I talked about as well. You have to be able to run the ball. 67 rushing yards ain't cutting it, especially if you got a lead like that. You have to be able to close out games. You have to be able to play physical football. You can't sit there and pass, 40, 50 times, in a particular game, especially with that type of offense, and expect to hold on to these type of games. They're going to bite you in the butt. You know what I mean? And that's just, you just can't do that, man. You just can't do that. Time of possession in this particular game. And this is what makes me want to go look at that to see those specific numbers. They had the ball just over 4 minutes longer than the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's no way. I'm bleeding that clock out. I'm bleeding the mess out of that clock while I'm moving the ball. But Jacksonville Jaguars, they had every opportunity to move the ball, do all the things that they need to do. They came back and took care of this game, man. So it's just a complete meltdown. They just gave this game away. It was just terrible, man. Just terrible.
No, for sure. And then real quick, man, let me shout out the chat. So who we got, man? So a couple comments, man. Big chef in the building, man. And so no, let me go back. So Bojo in the building, man. The Chargers of the new Falcons, man. After that, hold on. Oh, okay. So then when I said that I'm putting Trevor Lawrence above Justin Herbert, he's like, "No, that's too much." And then he had a good comment, and that's why I backed off of when I said it, because it's not enough to do that yet. But the thing I did say before this game is that if Trevor Lawrence goes out there and outduels Justin Herbert, then he's sitting at that table. So for me, they right there. He's sitting right next to Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? On the second tier bus, because they neither one of those guys on the first tier. He's sitting right next to him on the second tier bus, though. You know what I'm saying? At this point. And then going forward. And then hold on, I want to shout out my dog, man, Jaquan Jones. Jaquan Jones, my dog, man. He played tackle at CMU with us, man. And so in this game, he said, even before me, in the chat, he says Trevor Lawrence gonna throw 4 touchdowns in the second half and come back and win this game. He legit, bro. That's his. Can y'all see my? He said it, and then he said, "I say he throws 4 tails in the second half. And then he went out there, and I started counting them down. That's 2 down, 2 to go. And then he got to 4. Then we got the 2-point conversion. I mean, like he called it for the jump as well. And he's not a Jaguars fan. He called it on the strength of the Chargers are going to charge her. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something to that. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't shown the propensity to be able to rise to the occasion and take that next step. You know what I'm saying? Just hurt. You know what? They're front runners. So if we can get out and just run away on you, but if you hit us back in the mouth, we'll fumble or we'll crumble, we'll fold, we'll lay down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've seen. And then now on the other side of that T-Law and Justin Herbert debate, we got our dog Big Chef, man, and he said, "Nah, T-Law's the new sheriff in town." Shook them nerves off, man, and got it done. Returned to that Clemson form, and so wanted to shout both those guys out. But in my mind now, like I'm talent for talent, then yeah, still Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert made a top 5 throw of the season last night, and it wasn't like a big 60-yard bomb, etc. It was the one where he threw like this wide sidearm, looking straight down the barrel, and it's to his right. He's watching Buddy come smoke him, clean him, and throws this crazy sidearm pass. I'm assuming it was to Eckler, or maybe it was Josh Palmer on like the right sideline or something like that. But got smoked. Phenomenal throw. And that's the thing about Justin Herbert. Like he's made if we were to probably like look at the 10 most electric throws of the last like 5 years, I'd say Justin Herbert has 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's special. You know what I'm saying? Like he is that special. He is that talented. But ergo, again, a guy like Matt Stafford had that same crazy arm talent, et cetera, et cetera. I remember when Patrick Mahomes first blew up for no-look passes, they went back and found footage of Matt Stafford doing no-look passes in 2009. You know what I'm saying? So a guy with all the talent and just couldn't get over the hump, couldn't get, just couldn't break through. He couldn't be the type of guy to say, you know what, don't even trip, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't be that game changer that we want to see, that I want to see from a guy I'm going to call tier 1. So talent can only get you so far. Then you've got to have something else. When we get stolen, we get our backs against the ropes, I need a guy that could come back and not, and you know what I'm saying, come back and give me a KO, come back and win this thing. And so that's what we haven't seen from Justin, and that's the thing that's holding back, in my mind, from being considered tier 1. Now here's another thing too. To your point, man, I saw a stat about that. They only ran the ball 8 times in the second half, up 20 points with a 3-touchdown lead. They only called 8 run plays in that second half. And that goes to your point, Chopper, what you're saying about running the ball, putting the game away. And then also that goes to, you know what, that probably goes a little bit to Ike's part about Joe Lombardi. And so I don't know those calls. And we know that most teams get at least 2 calls, get 2 calls anyways. I don't know if there were run calls that were called and that killed or canceled out of when Justin Herbert seen a look. You know what I mean? Because that could happen. But I did see a stat that said the split on play calling for them in that second half, 25 passes to 8 rushes. And that's like, why the hell why is it 3-1 pass when we're up 3 touchdowns? And so, and look at Ike. Now Ike's in the building. What's going on, man? Look at Isaiah, man. Come in here and lick your wounds, big dog. Compared to a guy that leads the league in the least turnover worthy plays. All right. All right. Least turnover worthy plays. It chokes off 21-point leads, man. You can have both of them if you want. You can be the same. They're not mutually exclusive.
27-point lead. 27-point lead.
27-point lead. Yeah, 27-0. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, the turnover worthy plays is good, but let's about how winning game plays. Where's the stat on that? How many games did he win? How many plays did he make to win one? He didn't make enough of them last night. You know what I mean? But in fairness, though, to his point about Joe Lombardi, 8 rushes to 25 passes in the game that you're up 21, you're up 20 points. That's just like I said, it's not winning football.
It's just terrible.
It's not winning football. But this thing, Austin Eckler is a tremendous back, but he's not necessarily a bell cow back. But it did feel like he definitely disappeared. Yeah. He definitely disappeared in the second half of that game. I think he had a decent first half. He got in the paint, didn't he?
He had 2 touchdowns.
I was about to say, I was going to say he had. And so he completely, I don't know where he was at in the second half. And so that is probably something you can put on Joe Lombardi. But then, like I said, though, I don't know if he may have called, you know what I'm saying? Like he might have called 6 more carries for Justin Eckler or for Austin Eckler that maybe depending on the look that Justin got on the field, maybe he had to kill and get out of him or felt he had to kill and get out of him. So we don't know. But at the end of the day, and especially in a game like that, I don't give a damn. At a certain point, especially when Jacksonville starts to try to crawl back in this, I'm letting Justin know, like, hey, look here, bro. We won a G League. I don't give a damn what you think.
I don't care what you see.
We running G League, bro.
We're not risking no incomplete pass or stopping the clock.
We're not stopping the clock. Every incomplete pass is a timeout for the Jaguars. Every incomplete pass is a timeout for the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be a certain point where just like, you know what I'm saying, like we were saying, like, yeah, at a certain point, make the call. It doesn't matter, like clock management, you know, those type of things. And so, but that definitely didn't happen, man. And like I said, the Charger, man. And like I said, Justin Herbert's got to take that step before he can be tier one. You can't be a tier one guy and lose these games. You just can't. It's against each other. It's vinegar and oil. Tier one, by definition, tier one means you don't lose that game. It can't be, by definition, you can't lose that game if you're tier one.
For sure.
Yeah. For sure. Joe Burrow wins that game without Jamar Chase if he got a 20-point lead. I don't give a damn who he's going against because it's Joe Burrow. He's tier one. You feel me? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Patty Mahomes wins that game with 20-point lead, throwing an MVS and Juju Smith-Schuster and Kadarius Toney. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Big Josh, like, I don't want to hear it, bro. And so you can't be tier one and lose that game. Not that way. Hell no.
For sure. All right, Willie Jack, well, we got some games today, man. We got to get into. So we're gonna definitely jump into the games that's gonna happen today, and of course the Monday night game with Dallas and Tampa Bay. Boy, can't even talk. But before I jump into those, I got a couple things I want to do. First and foremost, y'all asked for this. You know, I told you if you asked for it, I deliver for you. I deliver it. And y'all asked for it. Y'all wanted to know, you know, what your boy Chop was talking about. Because if it ain't, because somebody in here said, I seen the comment pop up. If it ain't no footage, it ain't no proof. Then you ain't say it. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and pull this for you guys so you guys can take a look at what your boy said, you know, in regards to the San Francisco will or machine. So go ahead and take it. I'm gonna go ahead and walk y'all into this really quick. All right. Let's do the entire screen here. And actually, I'm gonna unshare it right now. I'm gonna do this. There we go. So let me go ahead and break this. Go ahead and play this for y'all real quick. Of a drop off from Jimmy G to him. You know what I mean? If he can come in and do that, and especially with the way that the defense is playing, you pair all those weapons on offense and the way that they orchestrate that offense. You know, you pair that with the defense that they have. I don't think. Maybe a tad bit. If they was an A+, right? If there was an A+ team, they're an A- team to me right now. You know what I'm saying? With Jimmy.
Bro, you wilding now, bro. You wilding and you hella disrespectful, bro. There's no, bro. Bro, look at the difference in the Titans when you have an average. Right?
And look, I ain't gonna go into everything because I don't want y'all to hear my dog.
I was trying to catch back up on what was going on with that.
I don't want to play the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want y'all in here trying to get on my boy Willie Jack. You know, my boy Willie Jack, he was upset when I made that call. You know what I'm
saying? Wait. I'm in the chat arguing with Ike. I missed. Yeah, go ahead. All right, go ahead, cook it. I was trying to catch up and see what.
No, you good. You good, bro. Essentially, I just wanted to show the footage of when Jimmy G went down, and I said right after the game.
Oh, you found it. Okay, I got you. Okay.
It ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was it, and you see what it's turned out to be. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to pull that for one of our members that's in here tuning in for Film Fam. He said if you ain't got the footage, it ain't happening. So I want to pull it.
Oh yeah, Bo Joe in the building. Yeah,
for sure. But now, Willie Jack, it's time for us to jump into these games, man. But before we do that, I think it's time you talk to him, man. We're about halfway through the show. I think it's about time you talk to him, let him know what's going on, and pay some of these bills, dog.
I got you, man. Of course, today's episode of Chop and Willie in the Morning, hosted by wonderfully handsome and intelligent brothers that let the film speak. Chop and Willie Jack. You know what I'm saying? Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. It's sponsored to you by, come on, man. Y'all know the sponsorship, man. The Three Amigos, man. Talk to me now. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. That's 3 the hard way. That's a 3-piece spicy. You cannot go wrong. Now, y'all already know it's Three Amigos, but it's a 4-part process. Y'all can say it with me. First thing you got to do, you got to like, share, subscribe, man. You just got to tap in. You got to like, share, subscribe. That's number one. That gets you in the dough. Then you got to tell a friend. Shout out to our new friend, Bojo, man, in the building today, this Sunday morning, bro. We appreciate you. Tell a friend. Then you got to tell your friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying, me? Bo, you got to tell a friend now, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You right now, you on second base. Let's get you home, big dog. Tell a friend. Tell your friend to tell his friend. Tell your friend's friend to tell a friend. Brain fuck, because we need all of them, man. So, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell your friend to tell his friend. Tell your friend's friend to bring a friend too. Come on down here, kick with your dogs, man. Chop and Willie in the morning. Brought to you by the wonderful brothers from Let the Film Speak, holding it down for the three amigos. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to them day one members as well, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all know what's going on with Prospect and Precision Painting. Y'all know what's going on with No Vulture, the podcast. Y'all know what's going on with Real Deal STL Sports. Y'all know with No Boss, No Glory. Come on, man. Who we missing? I feel like we got one more, man. Y'all know who it is, man. Y'all know what's going on. If I forgot to say it now, you know what's going on with me, man. You know what's loving. You know we love and hold y'all down, man. But other than that, man, hey, we appreciate y'all boys. And now let's get back to it, man. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. Come on with it.
All right, man. And the first game on the docket is the 12 o'clock one, man. And then we got your boy, Big Josh, Willie Jack, Big Josh. We got Miami going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Willie Jack, who you got in this one, man?
Who I got? Big Josh. Big Josh. Now, and honestly, man, this matchup lost all its luster 6 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So Skylar Thompson's getting a start. Teddy Bridgewater may or may not be healthy enough to even be the backup. And so, and honestly, man, I mean, this is a ugly situation for the Dolphins. And honestly, man, it feels like a freebie for the Bills. You know what I'm saying? Unless they go out there and lay some style of complete, ungodly, otherworldly egg. And I don't see it happening, but stranger things have happened. I saw a team with a 27-point lead in the first quarter lose by 1 point yesterday. So I don't know I can't put nothing past nobody at this point. You feel me? But no, man, I definitely expect Big Josh and those guys to go out there and do it for DeMar, prayers for DeMar, man, all that good stuff, man. Happy to hear that he's home and healthy. I expect he's going to be in the building. He's not suiting up. I expect he's going to be in the building. That place is going to be electric. It's going to be fired up. And so I don't see a way they lose this game. Give me 30-10 Bills to coast until next week's matchup with the Bengals.
For sure. And I'm gonna go similar score. I'm gonna go 31-10. I'm gonna go 31-10. I'm giving 4 touchdowns and the field goal to win this game. But for the Bills, this is a game you can't take lightly. You have to go into this game and do what you're supposed to do, which is dominate. Okay. The Miami Dolphins are shorthanded, of course, you know, as Willie Jack just talked about. So you can't go into this game playing around or playing down to competition. This is not the time to do that. This is playoff ball. And in the playoffs, you're supposed to be, you know, sharp, and you need to be sharp this entire game. So if you're gonna come out and play around, that could be the difference in next week's matchup, you know, against whoever you may come across. It could be the difference between a win and a loss. You know, so you got to come out, be sharp, be intentional about what y'all trying to do in this particular game, and go out and dominate, man. Go out and dominate. Do what you need to do. Take care of business. This game shouldn't be a close game. Of course, Miami Dolphins, they're gonna come out. They're gonna fight, man. They're gonna fight. They're gonna put up, you know, as much fight as they can. But it won't be much they can actually do against this Bills team. You got Josh Allen. You know, he's healthy going into this particular game. Their offense, you know, what their offense is capable of, putting up points. You know, of course, they got the extra energy of DeMar Hamlin, you know, on their back, in which I did hear a report. He actually came to the facilities, I believe, yesterday. So he was out there, and he may actually be at the game or something like that.
He says so, yeah.
Yeah, so I know that's going to be some extra boost for Buffalo, and probably will be an extra boost for them throughout their playoff run, however long, you know, that lasts. So, yeah, for Buffalo, you got to come out and take care of business, man. Take care of business. The key for Miami is going to be on defense, I believe. Force Josh Allen into some turnovers. You know, he's shown that he's not the type of quarterback that'll shy away from making tough throws or throwing into small windows. So take advantage of those opportunities that you're going to get this game. You're going to get a few. So, and when you get them, you got to take advantage of them, get those turnovers, you know, develop and establish a run game. That's going to be important for you all this game too. So those are going to be the keys for Miami if they want to stay in this game and have a chance when it comes down to it. Keep that ball out of Josh Allen's hand and take advantage when he does have the ball in his hands of those turnover opportunities, you know, that he's going to provide to you in this game. So if you can do that, that'll be the best shot that they have at this game. But like you said, Willie Jack, I don't see them being able to do too much. I got Bills winning this game, like I said, 31-10. I think Miami gets in the end zone. They find some type of way to get in there at least once, maybe get a field goal. But that's about it in this particular game. So, yeah, Bills come away with this W and come away with the victory.
Gotcha.
On to the next one, Willie Jack, and we got the New York Giants going to Minnesota to take on the Vikings in a rematch from a regular season game that we seen just a few weeks ago, which took a 60-yard field goal by Greg Joseph to win this one for the Vikings. And Willie Jack, you know what train I'm on, dog.
Oh man, don't do it to yourself, man.
You know I'm gonna do it. Hey, look, I might be in another little pick'em league, and I might have picked Minnesota. But for this one, just for this sake of this show and what I be talking about, I'm going with the Giants. And why not go ahead and talk about who's gonna be my performer of the week this week? It's gonna be Saquon, best in the business. You know what I mean? I'm still preaching it. I don't care what happened throughout the regular season, man. Saquon Barkley is going to be performer of the week this week. He is going to come and they're gonna unleash him, man. I got a feeling they're gonna unleash him. It's like, look. We've been kind of using you sparingly, hey, but we ain't holding nothing back. This the playoffs. We got to win every game from here on out. You getting the ball 25 times today. So I expect a 150-yard performance from my dog, Saquon. 2 touchdowns in this particular game. I don't know how those 150 yards coming, but they coming. 150 yards, 2 touchdowns from my dog, Saquon. They're going to feed them. You know, this Vikings defense is the one part of this team that is obviously the worst. They need a lot of help. It ain't coming. You know, the defense is a defense now. They got to roll with what they're rolling with in the playoffs. And what they're going to rely on is scoring a lot of points. Now, the last time, Justin Jefferson did have a big game in this game, but this game still came down to the final snap, which was, like I said, that 60-yard field goal. And I think this game is really going to be a close, hard-fought game. If the Giants, the Giants' recipe all year has been keeping games close and pulling it out in the end. I think that's what they're going to do today. They're going to keep this game close. They're going to find ways to slow down Kirk Cousins, mix up some looks, maybe cause him into cause a couple turnovers. Kayvon Thibodeau is coming into his own. He's played some hell of a ball down the stretch. I think he gets back in Kirk Cousins' face and, you know, cause some ruckus back there. And I got the Giants winning this one, man. Give me 27-24. I think I called this score last time. I called this score last time, and it was 27-24, but it was the other side. The Vikings won. This time, it's going to be 27-24, but it's going to be on the Giants side. The Giants going to get that last-minute field goal that I talked about last time, led by Saquon Barkley, you know, running this team. And, yeah, man, they're going to come away with the W today. That's where I'm going with it, Jack. That's where I'm going, dog.
I'm not going to lie, man. And I said this about the Vikings as well earlier this season. The Vikings may as well be the NFC Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't show up late. When you're a real contender, you can't show up late. The Vikings got blew out 3 times this year. Now, they came back and won one of them. But they got 40 balled at the crib by the Cowboys. They got 30 balled at the crib by the Colts. Now, they pull a Jaguar, and they come back and win that one. And then they get 30 balled again, man, at the end of the year against what was the game that Justin Herbert against no, that wasn't a 30 ball. I thought they got another 30 ball somewhere. I thought they had 3 of those. I thought they had 3 blowouts and then they came back and won one. But anyway, so I say that to say that much like the Chargers, but for different reasons, I can't say that you're wrong there. I can't fully say it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Vikings showed up.
Green Bay blew.
It was Green Bay. Okay, yes, I couldn't remember the score from the 30 ball.
41-17.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a 30 ball club. Yeah, no, that's 30 ball. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the day in the when Jair's done it with Talk Spicy and went out there and walked that walk, though. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, dog. But yeah, so I can't put it past the Vikings to just show up and just not have it. I can't put it past the Vikings to just show up and just lay an egg. And so all that stuff is true, man. This game is definitely, I think the Vikings may make this game tougher than it has to be. You know what I'm saying? But I still do. I'm picking them to win the game. I'm taking the Vikings 30-24 at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson, he's got a lot on his mind, man. He had a chance at greatness. Well, no, he's already great. He had a chance at legendary, and it didn't work out in his favor, man. So I know he's still got a terrible taste in his mouth. He call it what you want to or whatever the case, but didn't get it done or wasn't able to make an impact in that Green Bay game. Then the last game of the season, I mean, they kind of sitting and resting. He plays a little bit, but he doesn't replace. So this is his first real kind of game to get that off his chest, to get that off his mind. And so I expect him to be supremely involved and to be, I don't see what they're going to do to stop him. But so I'm going to take them 30-24. But like I said, man, on the flip side of that, it's not at all any type of outside the realm of any possibility that the Vikings just show up and just get whopped. You know what I'm saying? If you told me if the Giants came out and put 20 on these boys somehow, because I don't know how they're going to score them points, but it's one of those things where I can't be upset about it. I can't be mad because the Vikings just showed me this all year. But I'm taking them in this opening game against these Giants, though, man, 30-24.
For sure. And it definitely feels like a game where this can be this has a feeling of course, I'm gonna go with my dogs just for the sake of it, but this definitely feels like it could be a Justin Jefferson game. Oh, and somebody just put it.
Hey, that's Bojo, the new money.
Right in on time, right on
Yeah,
time. But it feels like it could be that type of game, a game where it's like Justin Jefferson is in his bag. He's in his bag. It's like, hey, look, man, yeah, y'all can ride me to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So, but
you know what, Chop? Shout out to Bojo, player of the week. Justin Jefferson with 145 yards. I'm gonna give him 2 touchdowns, Bo, and that dub. 145 and 2 TDs in that dub. There you go, Bo. Let's do it. Me and Bo cooking. 145 and 2 tubs today. Player of the week. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we're rolling with. All right, Willie Jack. Let's move on to the last game of this on the Sunday slate. We got the Baltimore Ravens going right back to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, man. And who you got in this one, Willie Jack?
Oh man, Big Bad Burrow in this one as well. The luster is off of this game as well for the last 6 weeks, of course, similar to what we said about Miami. So they've got is Huntley? Huntley is going to start this one, and not Anthony Brown. Right?
Huntley is playing to start this game. He will be back.
So Huntley is going to start this game, and then I mean they've got all those other pieces, but I mean that's still a very lopsided matchup, man. When you got Tyler Huntley trying to keep up with Big Bad Joe Burrow, man, I don't necessarily see it happening. And quiet as kept, man. And I put out a top 10 ranking like last week. Like that one, it was more so my heart than my head. Like these are things that I'm kind of more. Well, it is a little sense in there as well. But if I had to like realistically tell you right now, a Super Bowl favorite for me out of the AFC, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think the Bengals might sit at the top of that list. Like if I had to rank them right, if we rank teams right now, like you know what I'm saying, like if I had to put the church's money on it, you know what I'm saying, I still got the Niners. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I may go Niners, Bengals, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills. It's probably how we round out the top 5. Just how things have been going. But so like I said, man, that Bengals team, this Bengals team is definitely. I can't call them a dark horse because we know who they were. They're the AFC representative last year, so it doesn't feel right to call them a dark horse. But I really think that, like we've been saying, Joe Burrow stepped into the big room and he ain't letting down. He ain't letting out. Joe Burrow doesn't get chargered. The Ravens can't come in here and pull no type of if once Joe gets this game in hand, the nail is going in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? The nail is going in the coffin, and he's gonna make sure you know about it when he does it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Joe Beasley, man. But give me the Bengals, man, a lot to a little. No. They still playing good defense. They still got All-Pro Roquan Smith. Like a lot of pieces over there. Kyle Hamilton, the rookies looking really good as well. But I do think this one is gonna be. When it's all said and done, the Ravens aren't going to be able to keep up. I'll go 27. I'll go 27-13. I think this game maybe starts a little close and it pulls away, kind of like what we saw in the Niners Seahawks game. So I think just on the strength of a division matchup, division rivalry, everybody knows each other. Maybe at halftime this game's 14-13. And then if the second half of this game, it winds up 27-13, that's kind of or 27-16, somewhere in there. That's what I would see. But I'll go 27-13 Bengals.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna go 27-16 with you, Willie Jack. I know you got third. I'm gonna go 27-16, and I feel like it's gonna be a game where the big players is gonna show up, man. The playmakers are gonna be the difference in this game in terms of your Jamar Chases, your T. Higgins, and so on and so forth. I think those guys are gonna be the ones that step up. I don't think Cincinnati will be able to have too much success on the ground, so everything is gonna come through the air, which means Joe Burrow, I can see him throwing 40 passes in this game. And getting them to the point where they dinking and they dumping, and it was a game where I saw them do that a few weeks ago, where it was 4-yard pass here, 5-yard pass here. That was their run game, and I imagine this being something similar in this particular game too. And they come out, and they take care of business, and they hit you over the head too with the big one every once in a while. Other part of that too is this Cincinnati been playing very, very well, and they've been taking the ball away. So that's what they've been really good at. Now, for Baltimore Ravens, in order for them to win this game, they're going to have to develop a consistent run game. Real good run game. The same as Miami. I think they have to take that same approach, control that ball, run it, keep the ball away or out of Joe Burrow and that explosive offense's hands. And I think Harbaugh will have some type of game plan drew up like that. But if the Cincinnati can stop that run, then that's when I think Baltimore will be in trouble. They'll be forced to pass the ball, and Tyler Huntley, as solid as he is as a backup quarterback, I don't think he's built to do that, or I don't think this offense is built to put up at that many points. Baltimore's going to have to keep this a low scoring game if they want to have a chance at this. Because if the scores gets up the mid to high 20s, I don't know if they really have a chance in this particular game against the Cincinnati Bengals team. So give me the Bengals 2. I got 27-16 final score. Joe Burrow goes out, handle business, and more to what you were saying about your rankings, Willie Jack, your top 10 rankings of the playoff teams. I honestly think this is a 5-team race for the Super Bowl. It's 5 guys.
Gave my 5. Exactly right. Yeah.
It's 5 teams that I feel like have a legit chance. It's 3 in the AFC and 2 in the NFC.
Boom. There you go.
That's what it is. So
exactly.
That's just what it is. And it really is just going to depend. I'm really excited, and I really want to see that Philadelphia San Francisco matchup. That's going to be a physical. Oh, yeah. That's my type of game right there.
Y'all gonna make me find some footage. That's the matchup I had in week 6. Y'all better start playing with me now.
I'm gonna have. Hey, for the NFC Championship week, I'm gonna have it queued up for you, man.
Oh yeah. That's where we go, man.
If it falls like that, I'm gonna have it queued up for you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And now here's another thing about this game as well, man. Jamar Chase to this point in career, now he's still young. Jamar Chase 2 years, so he's playing the Ravens, I guess 4 times. Nah, he missed one of those games this year, so maybe 3 times. But on the whole, I guess, or overall, Jamar Chase has pretty much had his way with Marlon Humphrey in that secondary. In his short time, him and Joe Burrow short time together since they've been in this league as well. And so Jamar Chase back and healthy now for 2-3 weeks. Like I said, so they comfortable with these matchups, man. And like I said, I just don't see a way that outside of like a 2000s Raven-esque performance from that defense, like Chop just said, if Cincinnati gets to 24 points, I don't know if Tyler Huntley's Ravens can get to 24.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they just don't have they just don't have the horses necessarily, not without Lamar. You know what I mean? Like and that probably shows the value of Lamar, because Lamar, whatever point total, like let's say I gave him 13 points, you gave him 16, Lamar's worth 10 more points. You know what I'm saying? Like legitimately to that score, I think he's worth another 10 points. But like I said, he ain't out. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So sit down, get healthy, go crack somebody for 300 million. You know what I'm saying? For 300 of them next year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they be all right. Yeah, they wanted you in the game. They could have paid you for it. They ain't want to do that. So hey, get that bread, man. Secure the bag, brother.
He definitely gonna get that bag. Definitely getting that bag. On to the Monday night game, Willie Jack, the last one, on the playoff slate for this Super Wildcard weekend. We got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Tampa Bay to go see Tom Brady and them, man. And I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I'm still gonna go Dallas though. I know Willie Jack got some stuff for you there. He probably gonna cook up some stuff. So I'm gonna get out your way in a minute, Willie Jack. But I just think overall, what I've seen from the Bucs throughout this entire season, I don't have much faith in them in the playoffs. They made it. They barely got there. Yeah, they cooked the game before the last game of the season to solidify them or as the divisional champs, but they haven't been consistent, man. Tom Brady hasn't looked good all year long. Their connection with Mike Evans has been, lackluster this far. Their run game has been non-existent. They have been banged up a little bit as far as up front, and they do have the guys back, but it's been inconsistent all year long. So they're hoping to really establish something there. And then their defense hasn't been the same either. They haven't been stopping the run like they normally have over the years. And teams have been able to do more of what they wanted against this particular defense. So if going into this game, I imagine it's going to be a lot of Zeke and Tony Pollard. They're going to utilize those guys. Of course, you're going to see, CD Lambs and your, the Dalton Schultz. I think this offense is going to get going, and that's the thing with the Dallas too. Their offense, they do come to play a lot. They do come to play when there is. They do come to play when they have big games like this, and I do expect them to come into this game and put up some points. And I don't think the Bucs will be able to keep up, honestly, with what the Cowboys will be able to do. I also think the Cowboys defense is going to be ready to go too. I expect Michael Parsons, and the guys on that line, Marcus Lawrence and those guys to get out the Brady. And I don't see that I don't see the Bucs being able to get out this first round this year. And I see it, Brady 6-0, but this is a whole different year, man. It's a different team. This is a different team, and I don't have much faith. So I'm gonna go 24-16. Final score of this game. I don't think Tom Brady and them are able to put up that many points this game. Their offense comes into this game looking exactly like they've looked all year long, and this is what we're gonna see in this game on Monday night. 24-16. Final score of this game. Dallas is gonna come out. They're gonna take care of business and move on to the next round of the playoffs.
No, and shout out to Bojo, man, in the building today, man. He said Brady 6-0 against the Cowgirls. They fire their coach, hire Sean Payton, and then make the Super Bowl next year. He said, "Say this for the receipts." Hey, I got you. Believe that. I believe that. But and you know what, man? I was gonna make some of those same points as well. And I think last week we talked about the viability of Sean Payton, or that's exactly what I said last week. Is like Dak goes out there, Dallas goes out there, lays an egg in Tampa. Mike McCarthy's out of there. Sean Payton comes back home. You know what I'm saying? It comes back home to Dallas, man, where he really made his name before he went off and took that the New Orleans Saints job. And so that's definitely viable. I think Jerry's came out and made some style of statements about the security of Mike McCarthy's job, which didn't mean anything at all. But this is what y'all keep forgetting, Chop. I don't give a damn what the regular season was. Touchdown Tommy is 0-0. Playoff Tommy is at the crib. And you telling me that Dak Prescott is going to take his Cowboys to Tampa Bay to see Touchdown Tommy in a playoff game at the crib? I don't even hear nothing else. I don't need to hear nothing else because, and there's no rhyme or reason, Dallas is the better team. You know what I'm saying? They're better everywhere on the field except quarterback and defensive line. No. They're better everywhere on the field except quarterback. But I think they are better at quarterback though. This year, we talking about this year. I'm not taking Dak over Tommy this year. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many games Dak played this year? 11. How many? He played in 12 games. Who led the league in interceptions? Missing a third of the season.
Dak Prescott. He did.
Oh, that guy. Making sure. I wanted to make sure. I don't want you on record saying you taking Dak. I'm not taking Dak over Touchdown Tommy. I'm just not doing it. I'm not taking Dak over playoff Touchdown Tommy. I'm not doing that. But honestly, schematically, I really can't. I mean, schematically, there's no reason that Dallas shouldn't win this game. They're supremely more talented on both sides of the dog. Shout out to my dog TP, man. You got one more before you get somewhere, get a bag, man, and get yourself in a Pro Bowl, into a Pro Bowl, my man. So just sit tight, man. I want them to stay in Dallas, though.
I want them to stay in Dallas, and I want them to move, make the transition away from Zeke. I want TP to stay in Dallas, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? The star looked good on his helmet. You know what I mean? But we'll see when that gets there. But I can't trust Dallas, man. The same way I told you I couldn't trust Justin Herbert, even when they had a 27-point, man, I keep picking on Justin, man. Damn.
And I get that. I get that you can't trust him.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't trust Dallas. I just can't trust Dallas not to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust, like, how do I know that Dallas team that went to Washington that thought they were playing for a number 1 seed, like, why doesn't that game might as well have been this wild card game. You know what I'm saying? So don't go out there and lay an egg and get spanked by the Commanders and Sam Howell making his first and second career start. You go out there and lay a complete goose. You get dubbed 26-6. And now this week they come in there and play playoff Touchdown Tommy at the crib. And mind you, playoff Touchdown Tommy who's hitting his stride at the right time. Chop just told y'all what he did to get here. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a playoff Touchdown Tommy. I'll take a playoff Touchdown Tommy, man. Blind faith, blind, whatever you want to call it, but I am going to do it. 24-23. 24-23. And honestly, in typical Dallas form, I definitely expect to see some style of turnover or blunder or something that probably tricks away or costs them this game. And if there's going to be a guy who's gonna make that as viable as it can, it's definitely going to be the interception leader. You know what I'm saying? The guy had a 6-game head start on everybody else is still saying, Who's leading in and said, somebody hold my beer? they think they could throw some picks. Let me show you, you know what I'm saying? Let me show you something. So if that comes out here today, man, gives me 2 turnovers, You know what I'm saying? Sean Murphy Bunting, man, Levante David. You know what I'm saying? Or one of those guys. I expect somebody to get it. I expect there to be an interception. And like I said, I think touchdown Tommy, man. You get touchdown Tommy out too many chances, man. He's gonna burn you. We've seen that time and time again. So I'll take touchdown Tommy in a game they shouldn't win, but that they will. 24-23. Now, mind you, I called this game in this matchup. How many weeks ago, Chop?
It probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. You said
y'all stop playing with me, man. Y'all stop playing with me, man. But I told y'all, I was like, man, y'all gonna let touchdown Tommy win that division, and then Dallas got to see touchdown Tommy. I picked Tampa Bay to beat Dallas in this wildcard weekend 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, y'all stop playing with me.
You been said it was gonna happen, huh, Willie Jack?
Yes, sir. Come on, man.
Okay. All right.
Y'all know what we get into around here, man. Come on.
All right. Well, hey, look, Willie Jack. That's those are all the games that are happening this week, man. Run back your player of the week, man. Who's gonna be your player of the week this week? What are you gonna score? What are you gonna do?
Shout out to the new money, man. Bojo came in the building, man. Came in hot and heavy, man. We like it and we love it, man. Justin Jefferson, best receiver in football, man. Y'all know who was on. Y'all know who introduced y'all to him as well, man. Y'all stop playing. I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna make a list, man. Of all the guys I to put y'all on game, man. Justin Jefferson, best receiver in football, goes for 145 and 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And Gritty's to the next round. And then you want me to do Saquon, or you got it?
No, and then on the other side of the ball, my performer of the week is gonna be Saquon, man. So while Justin's over there doing his thing, you know, putting up yards, you know, doing his thing, Saquon gonna be on the other side of the ball, like, hey, you think you the best player on this field? I got something to say about that. You know what I'm saying? 150 yards, 2 touchdowns for him today as well, man. So that's my performer of the week.
Okay. I see. What we got, man? Closer with Washington. It's time to take it on home.
Hey, man. I think it's about that time, man.
Hey, that's it. That's all.
They got time. You got 35 minutes and a few seconds to get yourselves in order. That gives you enough time to go on upstairs, you know, get you some food, you know, warm it up, put it in the microwave, some leftovers or something, or maybe order you a pizza, put your order in, you know, have it on the delivery, you know, have it on the way. Go ahead, line you up a cold adult beverage or two. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're into. Make sure you get a wife and kids so they can stay out your way. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Y'all let me do what I got to do in here, man. Real quick with the roll call, man. What we got? Man, y'all already know y'all. I appreciate y'all in here today, man. Shout out to the home team for sure, man. Little sis, my mom's is in here. My big brother came in here, man, all the way from Cali. He said he was sorry for being late, man. He on California time, so he got in here at the back half of the show. But he's a Jacksonville fan as well, man. So he was definitely pulling for those Jaguars. Man, Big Chef is in the building, man. Cooking. I appreciate you as always, big dog. And shout out to the new blood, man. Shout out to the new money. Bojo is in the building, man. Came in this thing and rocked out with us, man. We appreciate the love, big dog. And he know what's going on, man. He know what time it is for Justin Jefferson. Shout out to Day One Game. Tom was in the building as well, man. Man, hey, I'm scrolling and I'm looking for you, dog. Oh, man, Ike was in the building as well, man. Shout out to Isaiah Holmes, man. We like to spar and go back and forth, man, but he knows it's all love, man. So we appreciate you as always, man. Hey, other than that, man, y'all know what's going on. If I forgot to say your name, charge it to my head, man. Don't charge it to my heart. You know, we thinking about you, big dog. We appreciate all the love and support as always, man. Like I said, man, the playoffs is here. We had the first bout of games, man. To finish up this second, we can see who moves on, man. Who made it, who didn't. Circle back with your boys, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. Y'all know what's going on, man. We get real jiggy in there, man. We'll talk about what happened in today's games. We'll talk about the outlook for the next week as well, man. Other than that, man, that's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all stay safe, man. We appreciate all the love and support. What I missed, man? I missed something, didn't I?
I don't know. It sounds like you feel like you missed it.
I feel like I missed something. We will be back Wednesdays at 7. I'll just say it again in case they didn't hear me the first time. We will be back, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, man. Y'all know what's going on. So around with your dogs and come kick me. Days 10 o'clock, the pregame show, man. Chop and Willie in the morning, man. Y'all know what's going on in here, man. We appreciate all the love and support. Everybody have fun, be safe, enjoy yourselves. Peace.